Welcome to DP2 Insights. In this video, we're going to take a look at Adjust Images. We've included this video not just for folks that are new to DP2, but also for those folks who are having their color correction done either in another part of the lab or in another application, and they need to use an interactive tool in DP2 either to modify those corrections or to do some additional correcting for other types of work and so on. So Adjust Images, which is this window, can be accessed either from the order entry window here or from right-clicking on the order images window, going to balance and then balance to adjust. Or in Manage Images, it can be reached from the Adjust link in the Inspect tab under Image, or the Image subtab. So I'm just going to, in this video, provide a overview of the tool sets that are here. And again, Adjust Images is for interactive use. It is the manual way to do much of this, although you might be using a wheelman to speed up the process if you are using Adjust Images. It's also the one of the few places that you can get to a wide variety of very specific, it's a feature-rich interface. So the Adjust tab, which is the first tab in DP2, will allow you to get to some of the basic corrections: density, red, green, and blue; angle, which will allow you to change the angle of the image. Down below, we have a set of tools that allow you to interact with the auto balance, rotation. The Z key will allow you to zero out changes that you haven't saved yet. You can, of course, save and apply. If you were to select hold, you could apply the same corrections over a body of images just by hitting previous or next, or the P or the N key on the keyboard if you're a keyboard user. You can apply auto enhance and no AE. Just as a reminder, if you're using auto enhance, in this context, it means that you are manually adding to whatever was done in an automated state. And these are changes that take place at the time of render. These are not applied while you're doing them, although you see them on screen, the corrections are offsets. In addition, this is where you can save balances, and I mentioned it in the other video on using balance tools, that this is transitory. So if you save a balance, you can recall it and apply it just in the same way you can from the right-click menu. So when we get to the contrast tab allows you to make manual adjustments to the shadow contrast, midtones, and highlights. And this is also the values that get modified when you're using the click balance tool for the black or the white. Auto enhance is where you're using that more complex algorithm that's making different types of imaging changes to DP2, and this is also covered in another video. Curves, this is the only place in DP2 where you can get to curves. In DP2, you can do these as density, red, green, or blue. And you can see the different channels. You can manipulate them should you have an image that's so far off of what you need, or you need to make this kind of a dramatic change. This is the only place in DP2 where you can get to it. The Miscellaneous tab does a couple of things. Input device, if you're using the Color Pro or you're using the Wheelman, or in newer versions of DP2, you happen to have access to the tablet version. Locus density allows you to use the numeric keyboard in order to dial in corrections, so to speak, or use the keyboard. I know there's still a number of operators out there who make their color corrections that way. In addition, you can make independent adjustments. So by default, DP2 is going to make the color change and modify the other colors and the density in order to maintain the density. Independent adjustments will allow you to make the color changes without DP2 doing any thinking for you. On the auto balance tab, this is where if you're using manual auto balance and manual interactive AE, will allow you to choose the preference and will allow you to select to always run auto balance first, which means that when you bring an order in this way and you're using adjust images, it'll go ahead and run auto balance, track the data as well. On the right hand side, where I have the curved gamma channel, this is where you find the click balance for adjust images. And the click balance tools, again, neutral is going to be driving it to whatever the neutral gray is. And again, that's selectable. This is covered in another video. And then white, black, and to the aim value. And that's in a very quick nutshell, adjust images.